Hello and welcome to season 2, where I'm going to do a lot of different adventures again, just like the last season, but this time we are in Buenos Aires, Argentina, South America. So the coming months I'm going to travel through South America. I hope you enjoyed season 1. I'm definitely excited for season 2 and I hope you are excited as well, because we are going to do a lot of awesome adventures again. Now the first thing I'm going to explain to you is money, because it's very important in Argentina to understand it very well, so you know what prices I'm really talking about.
It will literally take you 5 minutes maximum when speaking with a local until he will start complaining about the economy in Argentina.
First of all, for all countries you go to, you want 2 of these, a Wise card and a Revolut card. One because one is a Visa card and one is a MasterCard, so you always have both. So for Argentina specifically, you want to understand what blue dollar is, because you're gonna save a lot of money if you know what it is. Basically, it's an unofficial rate of the Argentina pesos when you want to exchange your money. For example, if you want to exchange like $300 in the official rate you will get 55,000 pesos, and for the blue dollar rate you get 114,000 pesos. So that's a lot more money you get, and everything is gonna be way more cheaper.
The reason for this is that the locals don't trust the banks and the government due to high fluctuation in the Argentina pesos currency. Therefore, locals try to convert their savings to US dollars, which is hard for Argentinians because buying foreign currency comes with a lot of restrictions. So, via the unofficial market, people buy dollars from foreigners and tourists, which works in our favor as just explained.
Now there are 3 ways to use the blue dollar rate. The first way is to bring a lot of US dollars. You can exchange your dollars on the streets actually in Buenos Aires. Basically you go to this location, you will just walk around and everyone will call at you cambio, cambio. They just want to exchange the money. You have to make sure you agree on a good rate, because it always changes during the day. And then that's the best way to get Argentina pesos for the best rate. Now the second way is to use Western Union. Now we all know that Western Union has like shitty rates if you really want to exchange your money or you want to send money to someone else, but for the Argentina pesos it's perfect fine. So basically you use the app. I'm using it in euros because I'm from Europe. You fill in the euros amount you wanted. I said I was going to exchange $300, which was 274 euros. You fill in all the details, you go through the pages, you make sure you fill in your correct name because it has to match with your passport. And the next morning you wait 15 minutes before the opening hours to get in line, and then you get a lot of cash. I already spent something, but this is about like $250, so it's like a really lot of money for nothing actually. Now the third way to use the blue dollar rate is to actually just use your credit card. So you basically just use your card, and Visa and MasterCard use the blue dollar rate or something similar. Of course it's going to cost you way more than using Western Union or the first method, but at least you will save some money and not pay the highest exchange fee when you're withdrawing money from the bank, because that's the worst way to do it actually. Now I'm now in Buenos Aires, so it's pretty easy to get the money because the Western Union locations have plenty of money. But if you go to Patagonia, for example, there is for example Western Union, which opens at 9, they have money at 11, and it closes already at 1 because they run out of money, and you have to wait like 4 hours to get money or make reservations, and you have like a cap of how much money you can actually get from them per day. So if you are in a main city, make sure you get a lot of pesos, because in those remote locations they don't have a lot of money actually. Now the last thing I want to explain to you for my fellow subscribers is that I'm not traveling alone, and the season 1 I was with my girlfriend. So actually I just came from Bali yesterday. It was a 45-hour journey with 13 hours layover in Amsterdam. It was nice to see some friends. But yeah, I'm not traveling alone actually. Of course it's a little bit emotional currently to process it. But it was already pre-planned, but that doesn't make it easy though. She's now going to start a new job and I'm still traveling. I mean, we are already delighted that she could join me for 4 months, so that was like really nice. And now I have to do things on my own. So basically I'm going to show you how it was to travel together, and I'm going to show you how it is to travel alone. Different continents though, but you'll get the feeling, right?
While I'm on my way to the next adventure by motorbike, you have probably figured out that mostly you want to spend money in cash. This makes it difficult for online purchases to know if you pay the official rate or the blue dollar rate. The golden rule is it has to be an Argentina company on an Argentina website and paying with Argentina pesos. Aerolíneas Argentinas is a good example, where you can pay for your flight tickets with your credit card. Busbud is a website where you can book buses to travel around the continent. This is not an Argentina company and thus you will pay the official rate. Although at checkout you see how much pesos you need to pay, it is still the official rate and you won't have the blue dollar rate. One thing I later found out is that there is another cheat code in this economy. When paying for your hostel or hotel, use your credit card. Because another rule is that you won't have to pay tax. The credit card rate is not the best, but if you can avoid paying taxes then it's worth it. I'm now on my way to do my favorite hobby from back home, here in Argentina. I've rented a motorbike for 2 days of only 150cc for 9,000 pesos and drove to Zárate, a town close to Buenos Aires.
Right, so I've arrived on the airfield, just parking the bike now. So yeah, looking forward to do some flying again. It has been now more than a half year ago. So with a little bit of help I'm now walking to like the start location actually, and I have to talk to someone who probably is in charge of the schedules and everything. So yeah, it actually already feels like coming home because it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you always get like friendly people at airports.
It's a kind of bumpy ride here at the beginning.
No problem.
But then,
Used to bumpy rides. What's your name again?
Matthias.
Matthias.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Small input. Releasing now. Small left turn. Gracias, Tamara.
Feels good to be back in the air again.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you.
So 6 months is not nothing. It's nothing for you.
Alright, so that was like really nice. I mean, it was a half year ago when I flew for the last time, and now I got the chance to fly again. We went to 1700 meters and yeah, it just felt like home, it just felt like usual. So now you have something to do outside of the city of Buenos Aires, and definitely recommend to go to this one. So really nice people, quite a lot spoke English, so that was also very good. I now arrived at my location, and this is really an amazing place. It's like one of those hidden gems It cost just 5,000 pesos, which is about 10 euros or 12 euros, not sure. And I got like this whole pool for myself now. I had to wait before other people leave at 8 o'clock though, so actually just jumped in the pool right before the guy came, and he was like, yeah, you shouldn't jump in the pool. Anyways, look at my house though. It's massive. Look at how big it is.
The next morning I went to a little town called San Antonio de Areco. Not super special, but it has some nice parks. On the way back to Buenos Aires I decided to take the highway to be a little bit faster, something I wanted to avoid with this slow bike. Fortunately I wasn't the slowest. Back in Buenos Aires I could catch a local festival which was quite nice. Went with some people from the hostel I was staying at. Iguazu Falls, the next stop. 2 ways to get there. By bus, which costs 42,000 pesos and takes 20 hours. Or by airplane, which depends on how early you book in advance. Between 50,000 pesos and 30,000 pesos for a return ticket. Obviously you can book a one-way ticket if you're planning to go to Brazil or Paraguay afterwards. From the airport I also had to pay a tax to get to the town, so by airplane is definitely more expensive, but it saves a lot of time.
So today I'm going to the Brazilian side of the Iguazu waterfalls. I'm staying at Eco Hostel Iguazu, and they explained that I have to walk to a supermarket, and of course there's a bus stop. Again, it doesn't seem they're going to be like a bus sign, but I have to just catch the yellow or the green bus, which is going to Brazilian side, and I have to stop at the immigration office to leave the country. Then I have to get on the bus again, and then I should be able to get the bus directly going to Iguazu waterfalls of the Brazilian side. So that was leaving like actually Argentina, and there's no Brazil border because they are like, we don't care about the Iguazu area. If you go more than 50 kilometers, then you're going to get some border patrol thing, but it's actually only leaving Argentina, and when you come back you have to enter Argentina again. So the bus is still waiting, that's nice.
To remind you, all of this was in the very early morning, taking the bus around 7:30.
So you definitely want to be here early because look at the line. It's very long.
It costs 86 Brazilian real to get in, choose a time slot and get on the park bus, which takes you to the different locations.
I haven't been to the Argentina side yet, but this side is definitely one you have to visit because you get such a nice panoramic view here. You can't miss this one. So that boat trip was like really nice, and it's really recommended to do. We got soaked in water, but it was such an amazing thing. Do know that on the Argentina side it's almost the half of the price. So I did on this side because tomorrow I also have my flight back, and I just want to get some time to also walk all the trails on that side. So that's why I did it on this side. But do know Argentina side is cheaper. So now I'm getting the bus back to Argentina. Actually, it's already waiting. It seems like. Alright, so yesterday we did the Brazilian side, today we're gonna do the Argentina side. I think I'm already spoiled with the nice panoramic view we had yesterday, but these views, these trails I'm going to do today, they seem to be like very close to the waterfall, so let's see how they are. Nice thing about yesterday is that I also like met two guys when I was getting on the bus to go to the park, and we actually spent the whole day together in the park. Thereafter I did the boat trip on my own, so that was also very nice. Did it of course on the more expensive side, but I don't have that much time yet today. And this morning I was actually going to take the same bus, the green bus, but then there was like a family. I asked where are they going so that they could help me get on the right bus. And then the father was like asking a taxi how much it was to go to the park. We were with 4 people, so it was only 600 pesos per person, so that was still about the same price as the bus actually, so I just went with them to the park here today. So yeah, sometimes you just encounter some nice people and tangle along for a cheap price and a luxurious taxi ride.
Entering the park on the Argentina side costs 5,500 pesos. A good tip is that a national park ticket across the whole Argentina can give another person 50% discount the next day or 25% discount the day after. So to get a discount, find someone who has been to the park yesterday and save yours for someone else to give it to.
Alright, so that was the Argentina side. Now, what do I think about it? I think that the Brazilian side is way more beautiful for having the nice sceneries and to have a nice panoramic view. But if you want to have like a jungle trekking and you want to have like a behind the scenes and on top of the waterfall and close to the bottom of it, yeah, then the Argentina side is very nice. So yeah, both are great options to explore actually. I would definitely recommend doing both sides. I mean, it's not like I would say only do the Brazilian side. Like I said before, you can do the boat trip cheaper on the Argentina side and they are exactly the same. So that's probably what I would recommend as well. So that was the first episode. I hope you liked it. I guess it was a little bit of more talking because I had to explain some things. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and getting ready for the next episode to go to Patagonia.